content protection. So this is really referring to the ability to protect your work and control whether people can see your work, number one, and whether people can modify your work. Okay, so in order to apply content protection, we have to go over to the document tab. And on the document tab on the far left, there's a button for area. Okay, so let's just say, for example, we have an input X, okay? And so maybe X and Y. So I'll just initialize X to 8.5 and Y to 9.2. And then we have some kind of calculation Z, but maybe Z is a proprietary calculation and it's something that we don't necessarily want people to be able to see. Okay, so let's just define it. So we're just going to do something pretty simple here. So X squared plus Y squared. Okay, and then we can maybe divide that whole thing by some random number. Okay, so there's that. And then we want to display Z. Okay, so that's the answer. So maybe this calculation is our own intellectual property. Okay, so this is company IP. That's a critical equation. That's the real work, and we don't want to publish that in our final report. So what we're going to do is put it inside of an area. Okay, so I'm just going to click on area here, and it's going to put in this predetermined space. Okay, it's about, if you're looking at it, it's probably about 2 inches on the screen. And now we're going to take this calculation for Z and we're going to move it into this area. And we can also move this little bit of text that says company IP. And now we can pull up our final answer Z, and this area can be expanded and collapsed. So now it's expanded, but we can collapse it. Okay, so you don't see it, and we can expand it again. And now if we apply a password to it, then we can protect it. Okay, so let's go ahead and right click and click on protect. Okay, and the password we're going to apply. Okay, hello, hello. Now here we get to decide if we want to lock it in an expanded state or a collapsed state. So if we don't want anybody to see that, that's our IP. We're going to print a PDF report. We're going to ship it. And we really need to protect that information. Maybe it's data, maybe it's calculations, whatever it is, then we're going to lock it in a collapsed state and click here. And now nobody can expand that. Nobody can see it. If they have an electronic copy of this file, they can't see it either. So that's one example. The other example, let's take a look at one more thing here. Let's take those same inputs, and here, let's define a function. Okay, so we did a straightforward calculation, but maybe we have a function that uses these inputs, and maybe this is a proprietary function. This is where the magic is. This is our, and we want, this has been validated. This has been approved. Okay, this has been blessed for everyone to use. This is the right way we're going to calculate whatever this parameter is. So we want to put that in an area. Okay, so I'm going to just create another area here, and let's just move that into the area. Okay, so we'll just move it into this area here. And now what we're going to do is protect this, and we are going to say, let people see it, but don't let them change it. So we locked it in an expanded state. So now here, if I'm an engineer and I get a MathCAD template that has this f of xy function defined in this area, I can still use that function, but I can't change the way that the engineer that designed it and wrote it protected it. So I can say, what is this function evaluated when x is 3 and y is up? Apologize there. We're jumping around. Okay, when X is 3 and Y is 5. Okay, so what is that? There it is. But I can't change how the calculation works. I can't change X plus Y over X minus Z. That should probably be a Y there. But I can't change that. I can run it in the way that the engineer that wrote it designed it and protected it, and it's been validated, it's been approved, so that's the way we have to use it. Okay, so this particular use method is very, very useful internally for people that are reusing templates, reusing worksheets for certain calculations that have been approved for wider usage, and to protect your own work internally as well. And I think that should sum it up.